Equivalent fractions with models. So we're going to take out two fraction rectangles and we're going to build 1/5 on top of the top rectangle. So again, these are your fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces make up my whole. So I'm only going to use 1/5. Place it on top. Okay, now we're going to cover the same amount on the bottom fraction rectangle, but this time I'm going to use tenths. And these are my tenths. It takes 10 pieces to make a whole. So let's see how many tenths we need to equal to 1/5. So that's 1/5, 1/10. 1/10 is less. 1/5, and here are 2/10, and that is what we need. So when I place these 2/10, those equal to 1/5. So let's find our worksheet. And that's worksheet 3A. And on 3A, we're going to look at the top fraction. Okay, so on the top fraction bar, what fraction is shaded? 1/5. So we are going to write 1/5. Okay, 1/5. And let's look at the bottom rectangle. How many equal parts does this bottom rectangle have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 equal parts. How many parts have to be shaded to equal 1/5? 2. 2 parts out of 10. 2 out of 10 to equal 1/5. Now, what can we do mathematically to both of the numerator and the denominator? What can I do mathematically to the numerator and the denominator to equal 2/10? Okay, remember from yesterday, we can multiply. We can multiply 5 times. 5 times what is going to give me 10? So 5 times 2 equals 10. So whatever I do to my numerator, I have to do to my denominator. So whatever I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. So 5 times 2 is 10, 1 times 2 is 2. So I multiplied by 2/2. So let's look at letter B. And if we look at letter B, what fraction is shaded on the top rectangle? We have 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3/5. So you can also write it like this, 3/5 equals. So if I look at my second rectangle, how many parts? How many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is my denominator. How many do I need to shade to equal 3/5? I need to shade 1, 2. So for every fifth, I need to shade 2. So I ended up shading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we said our denominator was 10. So 3/5 equals 6/10. What can I do mathematically? Well, I can multiply my numerator and my denominator by the same number. So 5 times what equals 10? 5, 10. 5 times 2 equals 10. 3 times 2 equals 6. So I multiplied by 2/2. Letter C, our top fraction is 2/3, 4, 5. 2 out of 5. So how many do I need to shade in my bottom fraction to equal 2/5? Well, remember, for every fifth, I shade in 2. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 out of 10. What can I do mathematically? To my numerator and my denominator, I can multiply. Multiply by what? 5 times what equals 10? Well, we already know 5 times 2 equals 10. 2 times 2 equals 4. So we multiplied by 2 over 2. Letter D. D, we have how many shaded? We have 4 shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 5. How many do I need to shade to equal 4 out of 5? Well, I would need to, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 equal parts. So guys, all I would have to do here, if I didn't have my model, but I knew that my denominator was 10, I would count by 5s. 5, 10, so times 2. So if I multiply by 2 my denominator, if I multiply my denominator by 2, then my numerator is going to multiply by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So I would have to shade in 8 pieces. So let's see if that's true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. So here I have a fraction of 1 over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 over 6. So now I have to count my second fraction bar, and that is broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 equal parts. So my denominator is 12. So my question is, how many 12s does it take to equal 1/6? And it will take 1, 2. It takes 2. Now let's do it mathematically. 6 times what equals 12? 6 12, so 6 times 2 equals 12. 1 times 2 equals 2. So what did I multiply? I multiplied by 2 over 2. Oh, I forgot to write it over here as well. So that F. My top fraction is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4, 5, 6. 4 out of 6 equal parts. And now let's count our bottom fraction bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My bottom fraction bar is 12. So I can do this mathematically. How many times can I count by 6 to get to 12? 6, 12. So 6 times 2 equals 12. So I know that 4 times 2 equals 4, 8. So this one, my answer is going to be 8 over 12. So let's see if that's true. 4. Now for this one, it's 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that checks out. And what did I multiply by? I multiplied by 2 over 2. If I look at letter G, how many are shaded? 2. 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 over 6 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My denominator is 12. So let's count how many pieces. Let's shade in the number of pieces that it will take to equal 2, 6. And my answer is 4 out of 12. How do we do that mathematically? We multiply our numerator and our denominator. So 6 times what equals 12? 6 times 2 equals 12. So 2 times 2 equals 4. So we multiplied by 2 over 2. Now let's get our last one, letter H. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 6, because I have 6 in all. My bottom fraction bar, it's broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's broken up into 12ths. So how many 12ths do I need to shade to make 5, 6? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 12. Let's do that mathematically. 6 times 2 equals 12. 5 times 2 equals 10. So I multiplied by 2 over 2. Okay, so now you will practice on 3B, page 1. And 3B, page 2. So 1 through 5, you're using fraction bars. Shade in your fraction bars and then write your fraction that is equivalent to 4/5. And then you ask yourself, okay, what did I do mathematically to get the equivalent fraction, and then you write what you multiplied by. On number 6, you're going to find equivalent fractions again. This time you're going to use a circle fraction. 5/6 is equivalent to blank over 12. So all you have to do is, what did you multiply by? So 6 times what equals 12? Whatever you do to your denominator, you do to your numerator. That's how you find your numerator. Number 7, the same way. 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to work with fraction circles, finding the equivalent fraction of the fraction given. Number 11 is going to be like yesterday's problem, where you have to draw a point on the number line to show two fractions that are equivalent, and then you have to name the fractions. And number 12, you have to come up with your own. Write a pair of equivalent fractions that are represented by the shaded part of the fraction below. What you can do is draw this fraction. You know how it gives you the fraction of stars? We'll make this into a fraction bar, and then kind of compare it. Do the same thing here. Break it up into smaller pieces to equal the top fraction.